welcome back to the mining cabinet. I'm Drew. I'm about to lose my mind with Amazon on chat. This is ridiculous. I ordered 2 of these 2-packs, only received 1, and it's like I'm being punked. Now in chat it's the 3rd time. It's like, well, how would you like to make your return? Drop it off or a UPS label. I'm like, for the love of God, I'm not returning anything. I'm missing one. Please stay connected. I'm still processing. Yeah, you're about to process some words you probably won't understand in your native tongue. What do I have here? I have a Drok power supply. I have a new KS0 Ultra, which I said I wasn't going to buy anymore, but I figure PBFarmer firmware without any modifications, this will get 500 to 550 gigahash for like 130, 140 watts. I'm going to start replacing KS0s and KS0 Pros with the Ultras, so I'll stay kind of in the same power budget and pick up more hash. This is really tiresome. So this power meter, one key thing, does not auto switch. You're going to plug this into 120 volt. It's not 110 in the US, it's 120 and 240. It's not 230, but the 230, or if you slide this over, it'll say 115, which is not really right either, but that's what you need. You want either 230 or 115. But you have to make your own plug. So what I did is I took a cord that goes to my PDU, ta-da, cut the end of it off, close the wires without damaging them. This Drok power supply will connect up to 3 miners, which is why I have to have 2 of these so I can get 3 out of here. I'll have an extra, and I've got another one of these. So when I get the second one of these, I can put 3 miners on this one and 3 miners on that, because these will put out 20 amps. Oh, come on, for the love of goodness. This is the second time you said it's arriving. I think I've gotten like 2 or 3 people in chat. Like, I've dropped off because I had to get out to find my order number, which, you know, I don't know why this is so complicated. Probably edit all this out, or maybe not, because this is just pissing me off. It's taking so long just to say, oh, we're sorry. I'll be nice. No worry. Sorry for the hassle. No worry. Anyway, this power supply is adjustable from... oh, yeah, it's adjustable from 0 to 24 volts DC output. It'll accept 100 to 240 volts input. I'm going to be plugging in into 240 volts. Okay, I've ended the chat. I'm not doing the fucking survey. Kiss my ass. Tired of them. Tired of you guys. All right. So, what I did is I cut the end off, carefully cut back the black insulation without damaging the wires inside. If you're an electronics guru, you notice I was so flustered with Amazon, I messed up. Yellow is also the color for ground, which is green. And I crimped that on while I was going back and forth in chat with him. So, but green is ground. That is your ground symbol. White in AC wiring is your neutral, and black is your load. So now I'm ready to plug this in and get power, 240 volts power from my PDU. One reason I like this is if you've seen people, you can run your IceRivers off of a server power supply, which is 12 volts, which should, in theory, keep the internal MOSFETs a little bit cooler, because they are not having to regulate a laptop brick, which is 19.5 volts. It's got to regulate that down, so it's got to do something with all those extra volts, which is extra heat. Of course, the one disadvantage to turn, and this is a voltage readout, it'll read out what I'm putting it at. I'm not going to put it at 12, because that does put a strain on your barrel jack, because the miner uses a specific amount of watts to mine. So let's say it's 100 watts. What changes is the amps. If I turn the voltage up, the amps go down. So in my theory, I'm going to run this about 14 volts, which still requires the miner to do some voltage regulation, but hopefully doesn't put as much load on the barrel jack, because I've already had one on a KS0 Pro, or was it an Ultra? Anyway, you can look at the video. I've had one get melted out. So these leads already come with the ends stripped and tinned, and it comes with these solderless connections. This one is missing the insulation, which doesn't really matter in this case. I've got some really nice Southwire crimpers. This area here with this is for crimping an uninsulated terminal, which this is. So you put it down in there, get the wire through it. You don't want the insulation inside the barrel. You don't want it to crimp down on the insulation, and then crimp the crap out of it so it does not come off. Give it a little taste test. Not gonna come off. So over here on the side of the power supply, you've got positives and negatives. So this one I'll leave like this. The rest of them have to strip more of the black insulation back to get them farther apart, because this one's going to go like this, well actually like this, and they're going to go farther apart. So black is your negative, red is your positive. And honestly, if that is something that you're just learning, this is probably something that you should not do. So I stick the spade terminal under the metal bracket, tighten it up. The positive is on the left, feed the spade terminal under the retaining bracket under the screw, tighten it up. Alright, number 2 is a facsimile of a sharp knife blade from Harbor Freight. The trick is not to go in too deep and damage the insulation of the wires inside, because then they could short together, which would be a bad thing. So what I am doing is exposing more of the wire inside, because I want to get the bigger spread between these two wires. So green is ground. And so this is an insulated spade terminal, so it goes in the crimpers in this little half round. That way it doesn't destroy the insulation. They actually crimp better uninsulated, but in this case they seem to do all right. So I've got it in there and I just squeeze the ever-living crap out of it. Blue in this case is our positive. Feed it all the way up in there till the insulation hits the metal. You don't want to crimp the insulation or you won't be crimping the wire. Let's see if I've got enough spread. Positive on the left, so the spade goes under the metal bracket. All right, tomorrow when it comes in, I will put the other one of these on. Right now I just need one. I'm just gonna connect this one up. I'll probably go in there, move some miners around, or like I said, start replacing some. But it does have this little plastic cover. Like, see, that one is uninsulated, so you just want to make sure nothing's touching it. It wouldn't matter if another red one's touching it, if the black one touching it, just short it out. Probably trip the breaker or trip the reset on the power supply. So we will go put this in the cabinet. So I just put that one in, the one on the right. Oops, get out of my light. The one on the right, power supply is back in the back. See, it's on 14.5 volts, so is the other one, or thereabouts. All right, that was a little bit jumbled up. I was so distracted by the Amazon fiasco going on in the background. But it's been several days. This latest KS0 Ultra is on the Drok power supply. I've got 2 of them hooked up to it now. I'm going to move another one, start taking them off the laptop bricks. So I've got 2 Drok power supplies that can power a total of 6 miners. So it just helps with density and cable management, which is a joke. If you look at the picture of the cabinet, I'm looking at that going, oh my God, that's horrible. But it's finally started to cool off here in Memphis, so I'm going to, at one point, basically empty out the cabinet and start over, do a little bit better wire management. At first, when I first got that metal cabinet, put everything in, it was fairly neat. But as I've taken stuff out, put stuff back in, it's gotten a little out of control. So I apologize. You can make fun of me in the comments below. But as you can see, it's running steady. My temperatures are good. They're below 100 Celsius. They're 93. Let's see, it's 72 degrees outside, so it's not bad. Our exhaust temp is 78. Our chip temp, though, is 61. So I could start cranking up the overclocks, but I think it's just going to start basically becoming more and more inefficient, using more and more power to get less gain. So it's just a waste of money. I'm almost to the point where I might start undervolting and underclocking. I'm kind of run up against how much power. And although it's fall, going into winter, the heat's not going to be such a big deal now. But when summertime comes around again next year, my biggest problem is power, because once I start running the AC, my electric cost goes through the roof. And then getting rid of all the heat. So I keep the miners in the cabinet with them vented to the outside through that AC infinity fan, and the top of the cabinet vents through the attic through a soffit outside. And then I have a bunch of CPU miners in the attic, and I'm surprised that I didn't have any problems, any damage. But basically throughout the hot summer, I don't know what it was up there, 120, 130 degrees in the attic, with basically a big window fan. So a transom fan, so it's a big flat wide fan. You put, like, you open up your window and close the window on top of it. I just have that blowing across them all on a shelf in the attic, and they didn't seem to mind the heat, maybe long term, but I was trying to deal with what I have. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support. I need to get on a more regular schedule of updating videos, creating content, and some content that you like. So if you would like to see anything dealing with IceRiver's kaspa miner, the AL0, the RX0, CPU mining, I don't have a lot of GPU mining going on. If you got any questions, hit me up. Thanks for your support, and stay tuned for more videos.